Welcome back, Rare Talks. You already know what it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't, make sure you go over to the Spotify and check out the Spotify.
Yes,
and today
sir.
I'm joined by the wildest co-host in co-host history.
No, you should already know. YC, man. Back in the building. Come on.
So today we're talking about some important topics.
Very important.
Actually, you know what? We're talking about how we became broken men.
How we got the way we were.
You know, I hate when women always say to us, yeah, oh, you lot are broken, you're hurt. Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? All right, no problem. You want to know?
Innit?
Do you want to know? Do you care enough to know? Or is you just asking because you're trying to humiliate us? Well, guess what? Today we're going to show you our vulnerable side.
Do you know what I mean? Like, show you that we're not, you know what I mean? Like, below our tough exterior, there's like a nice guy underneath, fam.
Yeah, so we're going to show you that today.
Come on.
So, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize that men go through a lot in their lives. Mm-hmm. So today we're going to be talking about that stuff. So
Trust me.
Questions with answers, basically. So I hope you lot enjoy this one, because this one is about to go down.
The things you lot want to know, we're finally putting out to the masses, yeah? And let you lot take a little trip down memory lane with us.
You know what? It's good to be here discussing these things, because I feel like we got to reflect on our journeys and how far we've come, because it's good that we go back to the beginning of journeys so that we can like do some self-reflection and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's key, fam. Self-reflection is massive, man. Like, but then I feel like your like growth is a beautiful thing, innit? But your past is always gonna be a part of your future, because it's sort of molded you who you are today, innit? So you don't forget the past, yeah. But it's like some parts are so dark that it carries with you, even if you try to like suppress trauma in it. Like it's still gonna be with you. Or like when you might trigger, so like a girl might do something that might trigger something that happened 5 years ago, just naturally in it. So you can't really fight that bit. But I guess maybe how you deal with it, because like I said, like you said, in that men are almost taught to suppress their emotions, in it.
Facts.
Like we're not really known for showing out and being emotional and spilling it like women do. Because men are almost taught to affirm it. But I feel like it's tricky. It's like a grey area, because some women want to find out to use it against you. So,
I think majority of women want to find out.
Yes,
but we're going to give it to them today.
Yeah.
We're going to give it to you today. So you got all of the ammunition in the world to be against us, basically. This is giving you free reign.
Literally.
And
let run free.
there's nothing wrong with that, just for the information purposes. So we're going to start off, have you ever been heartbroken?
100%, fam.
What happened?
Do you know what? But when I deep it now, yeah, I don't know. You know when a girl says to me, "Have you ever been in love?" I don't know if I have, fam. Because for me, I'm the type of guy, yeah. I think I wear my heart on my sleeve, fam. But it's interesting, yeah. Mike Tyson said something, yeah, that I related to so hard, yeah, in the interview. He goes, "I gotta be careful who I sleep with, because if I fuck you, I'll love you." And when he said that, I was like, bro, I kind of feel like that's me. I kind of feel like any woman like I lay down with, yeah, I start seeing her potential and what we could do, and man will get burned and I'll get a setback. And it's like, because I've done that so much, yeah, I think my ability to love women is very strong. But when they play me, yeah, it's like I become less of who I am each time. So by the time a good one comes, I probably treat her like shit. And obviously it's unfair, yeah, but I feel like you're always thinking and getting flashbacks to what she done and how that worked. And I think a man's biggest fear is his woman cheating on him, innit? Because that I don't know about you, but I couldn't recover if my woman cheated on me. I couldn't mentally, physically recover.
What do you mean, recover from the relationship? Or do you mean just recover in general?
In general, like, it's in just my whole idea of woman will be just broke. Because I think everyone's capable of cheating, but men naturally place women on their pedestal, and I think if most women just was feminine, yeah, we'd give them the world, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, women haven't got to do much, bro. Like, just exist. So I feel like a lot of my relationships, like with women, I've given 100%, yeah. But you know what, fam? Even on a deeper level, you know. Do you know? There's some girls I've been with, yeah, that I like them so much, I don't even know if they like me.
What do you mean?
Like, I was doing so much for the relationship that if I took a step back, I might then see if she's actually into me, how I'm into her, innit? Does that make sense? So I was doing so much for her, I wouldn't even know if she liked me like that because it just felt right because I'm doing my part. And women, I don't know. I feel like women are naturally used to like, I wouldn't even say using men, yeah. But imagine if you woke up. It's almost like when you're young, G. When you wake up and you know your mum's gonna make you breakfast and do all that kind of things, you get so complacent of that idea, yeah. You ain't got to do much, and I think that's why when men pull away, women they tend to want more because they're so used to getting it. So I think a lot of pastimes, fam. I was giving women too much. Too much of my time. I was too available. I was doing too much. I invested too hard, fam.
And women,
I lost my way.
Women want you to invest, but not super invest.
Yeah, it's weird.
So,
it's weird. That's weird.
So how did you recover from this heartbreak? Or you haven't recovered?
I don't think. You know what? I never have. I think I walk every day with a chip on my shoulder, and every time a girl does something, it triggers my anxiety, fam.
Damn.
Fam, you know what's mad? I was diagnosed with fucking anxiety disorder back in like 2000 and maybe 14, yeah. But when they look at my anger issues and how I was as a kid and being disruptive in class, they said that I've had probably anxiety disorder since I was like 14. Yeah, mad innit? Like, and even deeper than that, it stems from like my dad. Mad innit?
Yeah, our fathers passed down. It's called generational trauma. Our fathers passed down a lot of trauma to us, and we don't realize it until we get older and we start to reflect on our ways. But we can't sit there and blame for everything that's bad. But they do pass down negative things to us, and we don't realize it's a subconscious thing.
It is. Childhood trauma always goes back to that. And when I think about it, I always just say to myself, I didn't have childhood trauma, but I did, fam.
We all kind of did, but we just didn't realize.
I didn't know what was going on.
Because when now you got children, you can say, "Well, I'm not doing that on my children or treating them like that."
Because a deeper, see, a lot of things people don't know, yeah, is that like my dad never knew his dad, innit? So and my dad spent his whole life looking for his dad and never found him, yeah. So imagine this now, fam, deeper sessions, yeah. I remember one day now, yeah. I was in my sister's house and my mum and dad was over from Jamaica and we were just in the living room and my mum randomly was in the kitchen cooking, yeah, and my dad was sitting down watching TV and she randomly said to me in passing, "Oh, well, you know your dad's still looking for his dad, innit?" I was like, "What?" So completely out of the blue. I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "He never knew his father, yeah?" No lie, fam. I turned to my left now, looked at him, yeah, watching TV, yeah, and he almost looked like a little boy who never had his dad, fam. Like his whole mannerisms, his presence, the way he's looking around. Because growing up, I hated my dad. Everyone hated him because no one understood why he was such a wit. Like he was just like an arrogant prick, and he couldn't love anyone, innit?
All Jamaican dads are like that, bro.
No, but fam, I'm the youngest out of 7. Everyone hated him, and fam. I'm talking about I hated man to a point where, fam, like I pulled Sheffields on him like at least 2-3 times, fam. Cause that anger, fam, you don't understand. It got so bad, fam. Like there was one time, yeah, I had 2 big ZKs in man's pants, fam, yeah. And I swear I was gonna chef my dad now, yeah. And my mum comes in my room, yeah, and she saw me sitting with it, yeah. And then she ran up to me and she pulled them out of my trousers, yeah. And like went in the kitchen, put them away, and she goes, "Guys, I had to cool off." Like no one even knows this, fam. That kind of anger, because like, I hated how he treated my mum, my sisters, and my brothers. Fam, like I've even pulled ZKs on my brothers, bro. Because I grew up an angry kid and I don't know why. And then when I think about it, my dad's trauma laid onto me.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise though, fam.
It's generational trauma, bro.
And I was like, but when I realised that, yeah, my whole existence, yeah, made sense, innit? So now I feel like when it comes like to women, it's mad because seeing how my dad was with my mum, yeah. Sorry, like more so my sisters, yeah. That I feel like that whole persona is me, fam.
It's crazy because generational trauma can affect you in a way that you don't actually realize it's affecting you.
I didn't, man.
So if your father's treating you a certain way, like most Jamaican fathers, and I say most Jamaican fathers because your story is no different to mine and my story is no different to his, and all of our stories are the same. When our dad was kind of like a prick to us,
yeah,
and made us want to just do him over, and man's whole life, man just wanted revenge. But man realized that, even myself, I realized that my father was the way he was because of his father. So you see how you say your dad's dad wasn't there. My dad's dad was there, but he was a savage. So my granddad was he was crazy. So I think that passed down to his children, but more so my father, because my father was like the biggest, the strongest, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I saw that same thing that you're saying, but on me. So it wasn't to do with relationships, but I was just angry in life in general. I was just an angry child. And I started to think, bro, why am I so angry? And I remember I done counselling in year 11 in school because basically I kept getting kicked out of school. I kept getting excluded because I kept mashing man up. So one day they said to me, like, you have to do counselling or we're going to kick you out. And I was in year 11. It's like, no one's get kicked out before their GCSEs. That's a waste man thing. Man done all them years to not do GCSEs. Dead. I'm doing my GCSEs. I'm not like the man on the ends. I'm going to complete this. So, boom. Man's done my GCSEs. Man's doing the counselling. And then, like, the guy's getting back into my past. And as we're going back, I've clocked that it was my pups that kind of messed me up, bro.
Always, man.
That kind of, whatever he was doing to me when I was younger, it got me angry. So the way he used to beat man and just be dismissive of man, it just got me mad. So I used to go out on road with the same energy that he gave me in the house. But that energy was dangerous because that was toxic energy. You know what I'm saying? So like I just learned how to become violent. I thought violence was normal. So other kids, I'm punching up kids in the playground, but I'm thinking this is normal behavior because I'm getting mashed up. So I'm thinking this is normal behavior, like inflict damage on people. It's normal because I'm getting that at home for mad things and for good things. That it doesn't matter. I'm getting smoked. So I've realized that generational trauma can literally go down to your children, but you have to break the cycle now with your children. We can't continue this cycle anymore. Does it make sense? And relationships with women, like, I didn't see my dad really treat my mum too bad, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, neither did I. No.
I didn't really see him do too much to my mum. Like, he was actually really all right with my mum, actually.
True.
Mad. That's the only person that used to have his corner every day. So my mum would always, even to this day, my mum still got my dad's back. Like, she would say things like, oh, do you know, he really misses you. And I would be so confused. Yeah. Because I would not see that in him because he never showed emotions.
Yeah, he didn't know how.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that played a real part in how I am today.
100%.
With, like, I want to hug my children. I want to kiss my children.
Do the most.
Like, I want to tell them that I love them and how much, because I feel like
it's
nothing wrong with doing that. I feel like you have to show mercy and with your children. You know what I'm saying?
You have to.
And I don't feel like you should be too hard. You know what I'm saying? There is a time and place for everything.
Yeah, pull them up.
Yeah, but you should definitely, they should see that Pups loves me, you know what I'm saying? And I saw a video, on the internet, on Instagram, and it kind of like brought tears to my eyes, It was of like, a boy was with his dad and he was kissing his dad and hugging his dad. And I was like, raw, like, as mad as this sounds, I wish I could do that with my dad. I wish I could hug my dad. I just wish I could hug him and just, it feels normal. I went to hug my dad now, everything like, it's weirdo. First time my dad ever hugged me, I was in jail, bro. That's the first hug. Bro, it felt weird. I hugged my dad and I was like, raw, is this man hugging me? And I was like, why is he hugging? Like, bro, that's when you know you've never hugged your dad. 17 years, bro, 18 years. And that's the first time I hugged my dad that I can remember.
And that's sad because it had to come from you being in a bad situation to get a hug as opposed to a daily, just like a normal thing. And because I think especially black men, I think as black men, we struggle to show emotion, but to a point where we think showing emotion is almost not manly. Yeah. You look over to any other race, they treat their sons same as their daughters. Like there's no mismatch of love, but it's like, no, like, you know, like you're like a man, so like you don't need comfort or whatever. It's like obviously women and mums obviously provide that nurturing, and dad will be the stern backbone, and get shit done. But your dad, his words, can be so motivational and powerful, bro. Regular things. If you take your son to a park, and he's playing football and scores a goal, and you're like, go on, son, that means a lot to him, you know?
That means the world
Something
to him.
Simple like that,
That
bro.
means the world.
It hasn't got to be a lot, you know?
Bro, that's not a small thing, boy.
No, I'm saying, but it's a small thing when I'm saying it, but to someone else, it's like, I do that naturally, I don't even think about it. And all of these things that stem from that, I know you said Jamaican man, but just my dad not knowing his dad, So I looked at him like, how could he be a dad to me when he didn't even know, like, how to,
so he's learning. And he's not even like, so he's winging it. He's winging it.
So my dad was learning on the job, with 7 kids, and he never figured it out. So his aggression and the frustration was put onto us as kids, And I grew up hating him. Everyone moved out, everything. And only as I got older, when I was about 27, 28, when I finally understood his backstory, yeah, I had no anger left in me, you know. Because for me, like he looked, because like when I looked at my dad sitting there, he looked like he looked like a little lost boy who didn't have his dad. So even though he's a big man, looking at him looked like he was still a child. And that moment when I realized, imagine going your whole life thinking, who was my dad? That's mad. Like for a boy, yeah. But it's interesting what you said though, because your dad's dad was there, so it shows that even when a dad's in the picture, it's not a guarantee he's gonna be a nice home anyway. If he's not right. Do you know what I mean? Like your mind's got to be right. So then going from that, like to women, I'm saying. So I'm not saying my dad's the reason why I'm to women. I'm saying, but my mental health and my anxiety calls from my dad, then goes to women. I'm saying that aspect of me, like the aggressive, very dismissive, like very like don't give a fuck, comes from that. So obviously, I'm not saying I can't be responsible like for my ways, yeah, because obviously women do things to trigger man, innit? And I feel do you know what it is, yeah? I feel like women are always tested men, you know?
100%.
Like, I feel like a woman will know she shouldn't fuck with you, yeah? But it's like every now and again she'll throw a little jab to see if you still got it. Like, it's mad, isn't it? To see if you, like, as in, like, if you still, like, sidestep and give her 1-2 jab and hold in her place. Because I don't know what it is, yeah? It's like women are almost like children, yeah? Like, they need a constant tension and a fix. Like, having a woman is a full-time job.
100%. And a lot of men,
it's a job.
A lot of men don't actually understand how deep.
It's a job.
It's one of the hardest jobs as well. It's a job that every single person in that job is different. You know what I'm saying?
Every single person.
So every single woman you meet is different. There's no same woman. Like, you can't meet the same. Like, the problems you're going to have with this one is going to be different to the problems you're having with this one. It makes sense.
But I feel like a lot of women have the same makeup though. Like, so women can be different, have different traits, but fundamentally who they are, like the emotional, erratic, the non-logical, the just very in the moment, how she felt is always going to be apparent with many women. And I feel like women who do that, yeah, it's like, I've said a lot of times when I was younger, yeah, I'm incapable of relationships because my personality doesn't work with what women want.
But I think there's always going to be a woman that suits that need and that desire for who you are and what works for you. I think that's just my opinion. I think there's always going to be a woman that you'll fit into that kind of. Do
you think so?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's always a woman.
No, but it's a fan. But this is where it gets weird now. Yeah, I'm actually I think I'm so broken to a point where I only respond to toxic love, Cam.
You say that now, but when you meet someone and it's not toxic and it's nice and the person's accepting of and understanding and not trying to use man's, because there's some good women out there that don't want to use your past to try and gain leverage over you or to hurt you. They're very rare.
Very rare. I mean, where are they?
But they do exist.
But even if they do exist, I'd still be very reluctant to tell them my past, though.
Yeah, you always be reluctant on telling anybody your past, if I'm being honest. But I always say that it takes the strong man to get back up. See, our relationships are a significant role in the journey towards vulnerability. Did you ever open up to any friends or family about how you feel?
I think I'd say maybe 1 or 2 friends, but I didn't sit them down and say, "Yo, bro, I need to talk." It'll come just with natural conversation.
Did it come out like when you was talking to like your woman, like if you had a woman that you trusted and it came out there?
Probably, yeah, something like that. And but the thing is, I feel like for me, yeah, so I love hard and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So when I get burned, it's like it's impossible for me to ever trust again, fam. Even if she was a good girl. So I've probably lost good women, like due to my own personal issues, dealing with maybe like resentment from the past or just how women have treated me, yeah. And I know they say you should never paint a new woman with the same brush you did the last one, yeah. And you got to treat every person as brand new. But the moment I get a whiff of something that the ex did that fucked me over, that new woman's gone, she's gone, bro. Like, because I can't risk further damage done, because it's like, when do I heal, innit? Because if every girl you're with ends up damaging you, you never heal, bruv. You're always a work in process. And for me, I think I'm too scared to be vulnerable because I feel like every single woman who always says, I won't hurt you, does. That's the biggest thing for me. When women say, I'm not like that, I won't hurt you, and those women were no good, but they all end up being the same.
But I think that they could say the same thing to us. Like, we say to women, I'm never going to hurt you, and then we hurt them. So it is a double-sided. On that part of hurting child, I feel like some women go in with good intentions, but while the relationship's happening, their intentions change, and they'll blame that on our behavior. So they'll say that we have shown them a side or made them feel a certain way, so now they're changing the way that they are with us. Does it make sense? So
you're right, but the only reason why I'm gonna like disagree, because I feel not even disagree. Like I'll like piggyback off that to say, but a lot of men are miserable in relationships, yeah, because a man will stay through much more hardship than a woman would on average, yeah. So a woman can be causing him so much drama and problems, yeah, but he'll stick it out because he actually loves her. But I feel like women are very opportunistic, yeah, and the average woman, she'll rather look for a new man to give her what you can't rather than stay and fix it with you. And it's almost like women are not willing to put in the work to better their man and elevate him to be a king status, yeah, rather than so women are looking for self-made kings already. So I'm not saying woman has to find a guy work in process, but if you and her have built a platform, yeah, bro, like, it's alarming the amount of women that leave men for more successful men. It's alarming, you know.
Hypergamy.
It's at a very high rate. It's at an all-time high right now. It's almost like I might be earning £100 more than you a month, but that's almost enough to make her think he's going to be a better provider for me. So almost like, what happened to love, bro? Like, where did love go?
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean?
It's facts. Do you know what? Like, me opening up and speaking about my vulnerability came like with a girl that I was with once, and me and her sat down one day, and like I started to trust her because I started to see that she wasn't a snake, she wasn't a big mouth, and she was just a good person in general. So I opened up to her about like certain things that happened in my life, but this is like years of being with her.
Okay, yeah.
And then like I saw her reaction to that, and that made me realize that, you know, when I went super deep into my actual issues in my life,
innit?
I could see that it affected her in the wrong way. It made her look down on me instead of actually looking up at me. Does it make sense? It made her frown her nose like, oh, look what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? Instead of actually saying, you know what, like, I actually feel it for you, and you know, this could happen to anyone. She didn't see me as a human at that time. She saw me as a little boy that was looking for help. And at that moment, I opened to her my heart because I thought that, and I trusted that she would never do that. That's the reason why I even gave her that trust. Yeah. And then when I saw the reaction, I was like, it was too late, obviously. I was too young to understand what was going on. I just thought, like, I done something wrong.
Right, as a young
And I kept thinking, oh man, I've done something wrong. And then deep in it, now I'm a little older and stuff, it's because I actually told her about my vulnerabilities. I told her about my life and certain things that affected me and made me the way I was. And I feel like that destroyed our relationship on the basis of me just opening up and being vulnerable with her, made her look at me in a low light. And I think that kind of caved me in to just not tell women nothing. So I'd be in a relationship with a woman and she'd be like, oh, you never say nothing about your life. You never say anything. And I'd be thinking, you don't really want to know my life. Because if I was to tell you my deep and dark pain that I've been through, you wouldn't even like me anymore. You like me because you don't know anything about me.
Mysterious man.
Yeah. And as soon as that goes and you understand, because some women, they want to know you so they know how to read you.
Yeah.
And how to control you and how to have you in a certain way.
Yeah.
But when they can't read you, it's like, do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like
project, fam.
Yeah, so I felt like that girl done that to me, and then after that, it didn't break me, but it made me understand, because I proper love this girl. And then even after that, I was still trying with her, because I thought now, because I've opened up about certain things that are close to me.
It's gonna be easier, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like we're meant to even have a deeper connection.
Bring us closer.
But it actually made us separate. So now in my mind, I'm like, there's no point telling a woman my pain and my struggles. Yeah, I can't come home from work and say to like Mrs. I had a hard day, life is hard for me and everything's going wrong for me. I feel like the girl would just be like, so what's it to do with me?
Because women aren't equipped to deal with men's problems, though.
Do you see what I'm saying? So now I'm in that journey in my life now where it's like if you really want to get to know, and the thing is, as I've grown up here, and I'll be honest with everybody that's watching this, I'm trying to learn how to be vulnerable but not scared. So understand what this means. It means like I'm able to tell, like I tell the world my whole life anyway.
True.
Like I'm on a podcast. I told them my whole life, YC.
True.
Like they know my whole life, bro. But I've learned how to do that because before in my life, I never used to tell no one nothing. I used to keep everything bottled up, and that's where our anger comes from.
Yeah.
Anger comes from bottling stuff up, and the day it comes out, it's explosion time. It's like, flip out, and everyone's like, what the hell?
What's wrong with this
But
guy?
they don't know that you've been building this anger for a long period of time, holding it in. Now I'm a little bit older and I feel more mature and I feel more comfortable in my own skin.
understand now.
I don't even care how people even view me, even today.
Nah.
I don't care if people say, oh, he's this, he's that. It doesn't matter to me because I know myself. For the first time in my life, I truly understand myself.
Yeah.
I truly understand what makes me happy and what makes me unhappy. And I feel like that's the powerfulest gift that any man could ever be given, is like understanding his trauma, understanding his past, understanding what happens, and then working on himself to become the better version of himself, and now being at a point where he's not even scared of his demons anymore. I'm not scared of my demons. That was the hardest thing for me to be.
Battling demons.
Yeah,
innit?
that I was scared of telling people my demons because you're going to look down on me. I started to see that people were listening to it. Now I see on the internet people listen to stuff that I say. So I'm like, but did you know this? So people are thinking I'm lying, bro. I'm just telling you my life story. Even though it sounds crazy, this is my life. And everyone's had different lives. So I feel like for me, my podcast is more therapeutic than ever. People say you need therapy, bro. This is my therapy.
It's therapeutic, very therapeutic.
You know what I'm saying? This is my therapy. So yeah, I did open up once to a woman.
And that was it, innit?
And yeah, it just taught me not to ever do that again.
You can't. Do you know what's so interesting? Yeah, for me, like when I think of a woman that I meet, who I enjoy her company and I can see a potential future. Yeah, like my woman should be my safe place, bro.
100%.
Like I would love to be able to come home and tell her just about my day or maybe what I'm dealing with. Yeah, to feel like someone else can share the load with me, but knowing that that's not possible. Yeah, bro. Like I've been in situations where I've been talking to a girl and I haven't even sat her down. Like I've just been talking about my day. I swear down, after about 30 seconds of talking, she went, yeah. When she did that, fam, yeah, she weren't my girl, but I wanted to jump through the phone and bang her in the face, fam. I got so tight when she did that, you know. I said, I've been talking for 30 seconds about my day, yeah. Like manager on my back, like lost £10 and like missed the train, like man sweating like a slave, do bare things, yeah. She went, when she did that, yeah, at that moment, I fully realised, yeah, they do not give a shit, bro.
Do you know we're meant to be able to let down our guards to build stronger connections with people. We're meant to be able to do that. You know, right?
Yeah, but that's not reality, though, is it?
And that's why if you clock here, your mum loved your dad because she knew his true vulnerabilities. You see that boy that you said you saw in that chair looking for his dad. She saw that through his whole life.
She knew that, yeah.
So she always loved him, even though sometimes it felt like he wasn't even a good guy to his children, but she still loved him regardless. And the same with my mum. She still loved my dad because she knows his true story. Like I hear my mum, like over years, my mum's always told me little things like this, that. And I'm like, raw, like that's kind of deep. And it's the same thing. I got to a certain age where I forgave my father. I forgave everything that he done.
You have to.
I looked at him one day and I thought, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger person and I'm going to show him love. Imagine that I'm saying, because he's not showing me love, instead of it just being a relationship where you don't show me love, I'm not showing you love. I thought, let me show you love. And I feel like that was the first time, yeah, where I actually understood that it's a bigger picture than just me. You know what I'm saying? I showed that man love and I don't think even to this day, he knows how to receive it because I'll come home and I'll be like, yo, I bought you this, Pops. I bought you that, Pops. And like, I know he feels proud that his son is like showing him love. But
he can't almost respond to it in the right way.
No, but he does now because I feel like he goes out and he tells other people like, there's some like, oh, that shirt's nice. Like, yeah, my son got it for me and yeah, my son.
A proud man, innit?
Yeah, like, yeah, my son bossed me and it bought me some new Jordans and I bought trainers once and they were too big and I was like, oh, Dad, you like them? And he's like, man, put them on. Man's still rocking them to this day. This is like 3 or 4 years ago.
I love that.
My man's still rocking them and he still look fresh. And when he puts them on, I know he thinks, oh, my son. Does it make sense? And I felt proud as a son to be able to show him that love. And I feel like with a lot of people, if you don't let go of certain pains and struggles, it kind of like festers in your mind. And holds you back from opportunities and love and all the other things that you're meant to actually receive in life. You know what I'm saying?
That's yeah, because it's nice because like men don't really receive love or gifts, innit? So it's almost a bit weird. And I think, you know what, like even on a mad note, yeah, I feel like because of my anger, resentment, and man's mental health, yeah, it's almost like to take the focus off me, yeah. Me saying that I respond to toxic love, it almost feels like I respond to women who are sort of need or crying out for love more, because I feel like I can step up and be the perfect man for them, yeah. But it still doesn't really work. And if my woman can't be my safe place, yeah, and I bottle it all inside, and I have no safe place or I have no emotional outlet, yeah, or I don't have a close network where I can sort of say how I feel, it's like I'm walking around on eggshells, fam. You know what I mean? And my woman, it's funny, a woman won't know why you're angry. And when you tell her why you're angry, she won't care. But you would wonder, it's a weird conflict because you want to know something that you don't want to know the answer to.
That's real.
So then when you end up knowing the answer, it's like, I don't know if they're trying to get to understand you, but I know this for a fact. When you meet a real woman, yeah, who loves you for you, yeah, only trust me when I tell you this, only a real woman, yeah, can love a man and his insecurities, but love him enough to know that she can never hit him like where he's weak, or never use what he's struggling with against him, because she knows that's almost what makes him strong. Because men have to wake up every day and put on this put on this fucking war gear every day, battle shield, just to face the world. But when a woman truly loves you, she'll know your flaws, yeah, but she'll never highlight it to make you seem like a weak man, because she understands what it is to be a man. Only real women do that, yeah. If you tell a woman some real shit about you, and within your first argument she throws it in your face, you need to cut the woman off immediately, bro. Because I feel like the only way men are truly gonna be themselves, yeah, is when a woman genuinely cares about us, how we feel, what we want, and how she can help us to like elevate. Cause I feel like these days, bro, like girls are just out for just themselves, bro. It's a selfish game, you know.
And do you know what? Just off what you said, because that was just amazing what you just said. You know, to find a woman that makes you feel comfortable enough to actually feel like it's not coming with judgment, or it's gonna come with like a throwback in my face.
Right.
I think that's when men will actually embrace the idea of love and want to be in love with that woman and give her everything.
Yes.
Just on the basis that you're not looking down on me for things that I've been through, because you understand that we all go through stuff. And I feel like that's the most special women. That's the most special woman out there, man. The one that she don't look at your pain as you're weak. She looks at it as something that I need to nurture and look up. The same way we as men, and you said something important, we as men sometimes, because of what we've been through, when we see someone struggling, and this is the reason why I've even been in relationships with some people, and people be like, oh, why was you with this person? And they're like this and that. It's because everyone's seeing the vulnerable side to the person, but I'm seeing that person as like somebody who just needs to be loved. Like I needed to be loved at one time. I'm not even looking at judgment. And sometimes that's been one of my biggest mistakes, because I'm not judging you on anything you've been through, because I've been through crazy stuff as well that I can't even tell you right now. I can't even tell you right now at the start of the relationship, because you probably run.
You would.
Yeah, but I'm not judging you on everything that you've been through, just on the basis that I've been through a lot in my life as well. And that's where that savior complex came in. You know what I'm saying? Where I wanted to save people. I wanted to save this person, I wanted to save that person. But then I started to realize that while I was saving everyone, YC, I'll be honest, they were poking holes in my own boat, bro.
And then you end up drowning, innit?
And I was drowning, bro. I was drowning. And then at the end, when I've drowned, the person looked at me and said, oh, why didn't you save yourself? And I'm like, what? You're the reason. You poked all them little holes in my boat, bro, for long. And until you poked the big hole, and then I'd literally drowned.
And no one was there to throw you a lifeboat, man.
So that's why I said, like, it's deep. So overcoming challenges. So how did you... So when... You've never, like we're saying for argument's sake, that we ain't really speaking about our vulnerabilities of women and stuff like that. How do you become strong now and overcome challenges of dealing with heartbreak and dealing with vulnerability and dealing with brokenness now? Because now you've realized that there is a problem. What do you do now from here? Like someone's watching this right now. They want to know, where do you go from here? How do you work on it?
Do you know what? I feel like now, yeah, because I've come into myself, yeah, and done a bit of self-reflection and understand myself more. Now I just avoid relationships because I know I'm not mentally equipped to be dealing with it. Do you get it? So when I'm promoting things like be a sideman or like pass a slap and go or just have girls for just whatever you want them for, it's like I'm not advocating for relationships because I know that I'm not in the right mental space to be dealing with it. So it's not my inability to even be in a relationship. I'm just not there yet. Because I could be in a relationship tomorrow, but to what end? I know how it's going to end. It's going to be bitter, painful, and like a bad experience. So for me, I know people always focus on this word about heal, yeah? But if you truly know what healing is, bro, healing is when you don't feel the pain anymore. Healing is when you don't bring trauma with you. And healing is when you don't walk with a chip on your shoulder or paint every woman like she's going to do me in. And I know that I'm nowhere near that. To even be promising women the world when I can't give it to them. So until I equip myself with the better tools, until I've got the better right mindset, and until I've got my life in order, finances in order, kids are taken care of, until I'm at that point, I couldn't even give a woman what she'd want from me right now, if I'm honest with you. So I'm very much like, listen, now I literally tell women from the jump, I did not run a relationship, I'm not interested in it. That's not who I am and it's not what it's for. But it's just like sometimes women keep pressing to say, it's fine, I don't mind. And I feel like as I'm getting older now, I'm telling women more about me on the surface level that I might have hid before. Because sometimes I tell people this, some men lie about their situation, not because it's a straight up lie, as opposed to, you don't know me like that yet. So I'm not comfortable telling you certain information about me because it's only been 1 or 2 weeks. So if a girl was to like, say something like, have you ever cheated or whatever, yeah? It's too easy to say yes. Because when they hear that, your backstory isn't gonna, they're not gonna care why you cheated. Like they've just heard the word cheat. But coming from a damaged past, it's not justifying the behavior. But I feel like there's a certain point where you think, right, now I can tell her this. If everybody released their demons from day one, no one would be with anyone, bro. Like imagine. So if I went on a date with a woman, and one of the first things that she said to me was I was abused as a kid, I don't want to know her anymore. And so that she's told me a big part of her life from day one because that's what she's dealing with. Yeah, and now I've run a mile from her. But I didn't ask for that information. There's some things you have to withhold for your own peace and your own protection, bro. Because the idea of a woman running around on this planet right now with a deep secret about me that I trusted, yeah, will make me want to lick her down, bruv. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So now I'm at a point where I thought something mad the other day, yeah. I said, I'm at a point now where I'll look a woman dead in the eye and say, if me and you become an item and you cheat on me, I will actually kill you. You'll be a corpse, bro. No, but I'd say it so passionate and even I'd make tears form in my eye and say, if you actually leave me, yeah, or you cheat on me, I will put you 6 feet under. But that's not a threat. I'm promising this girl. But that's how much I'm protecting me. The fact that I'm threatening you with death to say, if you play me, that's how much I value loyalty. That's how much I expect and want from a woman to like not do me like that because I won't be able. Because that level of hurt, I won't ever recover from. So if I got a relationship today, brother, and I said, this is the woman that I'm going to put my trust in, if she cheated on me, I'd actually kill her, bro. Because I feel like at that point, I'm so broken. I was broken going into it, and I trusted you to get me out from what I'm dealing with. But because you played me, you can't live anymore. Like you can't have existence now. Like you have to go. And if I have to go to you or I go to prison or someone take me out, that's fine. But that's where I'm at. So for me, a woman's got to be very careful, wary around me, you know, because if you play me, you will die. Like, no, like bro, I'm not. And the thing is, I'm not even trying to be sinister, bro. I'm talking like proper heartfelt. If you play me, you die. That's where I'm at because I don't have a problem being loyal. I've got a problem trusting women. There's a difference. Do you get it?
And I feel like you're allowed to because of the past and because of the things that we see on a daily basis and the things that we've experienced. So if you're seeing madness, you're hearing madness, and you're experiencing madness, you're going to be wary of madness.
Of course.
Where I go with this is I feel like everybody can embrace growth. And through all the experiences that man's been through, I feel like I've learned a lot about humans in general, especially women. And I feel now that I'm at this point in my journey, like I'm the opposite of you to a certain extent. Like I want to feel loved. I want to feel cherished. I want to, like, I've always called me a wishful, hopeful, you know, a hopeful romantic.
A hopeless romantic. Yeah.
I'm a hopeless romantic. And that's because of the music I was raised on, everything that man
Slow
was
jams,
raised on.
R&B.
Yeah, so man's always got the image that there's going to be a day where man finds the love of man's life. You know what I'm saying?
The hope's there, innit?
Because I thought I was in love before, but like you said, I don't know if that was really love. I don't know if that was me giving away my heart.
Yeah,
Or was I receiving
it's deep,
the
innit?
same love?
You don't
I don't know. I don't know because
You don't know.
why are you not here now? Does it make sense? Where would you go if you really love me? You'd always, no matter what. For me, love is like you never leave.
Unbreakable,
You know what I'm saying? You're not meant to leave.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when things get hard. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why some women leave. They say their mental health is at risk and blah blah blah. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna take it away from women that they probably do have the same way we have our mental health issues. They got the same way we're protecting ourselves. There's a lot of women that are trying to protect themselves as well in the situation like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a continuous journey of self-discovery. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, and it's important to acknowledge that vulnerability doesn't mean that we've all figured it out. You know what I'm saying? It's okay with being uncertain and just embracing the process and just thinking, bloody hell, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's important to have a resolution. And what's even deeper that I realized, yeah. So I said I'm the youngest out of 7, and I got three older sisters, yeah, and a mum, and I grew up with them. Yeah. My 2 brothers moved out early, and 1 brother was left, yeah, and he didn't like my dad either. But what I realized, yeah, this is the mad dynamic, yeah, that we speak about. That I just realized, yeah, my dad not having his dad resulted in him not being able to be a good dad to me. So what I feel like happened is my mum stepped up being a dad and mum to me, yeah? But I took some of her emotional, almost like I took my mum's emotion because I didn't get it from my dad. So I became more woman-like in terms of how I deal with things because I didn't know that, I didn't have the masculine energy. So it's mad. So yeah, so it's like, I'm much more like my mum, yeah? So even though my dad was in the home, because I never received love from him, I got it from my mum. So my love for women is quite passionate and emotional from it coming from my mum and my sisters.
Okay.
I never got it from him. So that's why I think I have the same sort of passion and emotional maybe imbalance women do, because I got it from a woman. Like all my love has come from a woman. So I think if it came from him, I'd be a bit more balanced.
Yeah.
But I never ever received love from my dad. I only got it from my mum. So I think I took her, maybe like a part of her feminine ways and her love. So when I'm with women, I'm dealing with like it's almost like I'm clashing myself in terms of like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be handling this because no man ever showed me like that. I had brothers, but what good were my brothers if they never got love from my dad either? So we're all just kind of like emotional men. Like with no outlet, and I had to grow up and figure that out. And I didn't know why I was so angry. And it affected my school. I got kicked out of school. I got I got kicked out of all the top sets. I ended up flunking from year 7 to like year 9. I got all A's, and I started skipping school, bunking, not caring. I failed my GCSEs. My mum and dad were pissed at me, saying, "How can you do this? You know, like you was a gifted child." But if you're mentally not right, nothing's gonna be right, bro.
Yeah.
Your home, your life, your friends. Tweaking for no reason. It got so bad to a point where some days now I still have triggers where I'll create a situation in my head, convince myself the girl did it, and call her phone and start wilding at her. She's like, "Babe, I'm at home." I'm like, no, you're at so-and-so's house. That's how much my anxiety can trigger. I'll create situations that hasn't happened. Get hot. Fam, have you ever been so hot, yeah, your body starts perspirating, fam?
Yeah.
Fam, I've been walking on the high road, yeah, my body will just start just sweating out, fam. Like my whole chest gets hot, my heartbeat starts like beating irregular, and then nothing's happened. It's just a thought in my head. That's a dangerous man. So I can't even trust my own thoughts, to let alone trust a woman. That's why I said, if I let a woman in and you play me, I'll kill you. That's why. So it just goes back to the same thing. I'm not in that space where
to be in a relationship,
because I'm not healed, and I don't know if I'll ever be healed. And maybe you could even say, I'm only gonna get healed when I find that right woman to heal me and help me on that path. But I don't know what that would even look like, because I look at every woman as like an opta now. I don't even know.
It takes a special one. But as we wrap up, what's one piece of advice you would give to the listeners who may be struggling to embrace vulnerability?
For me, I would say, work on yourself, identify your flaw, and look to see where your trauma or your problems are coming from. Because once you identify the root cause, you can then build on that and start to sort of heal yourself. But you can't attach yourself to other people expecting them to heal you. You can't keep lashing out and hope that you're going to find someone who's going to fix you. The moment you do the work yourself, I think everything else will fall into place, bro. But it always starts from you. You are the root of your problem, and you're your own worst enemy. You know what I mean?
Facts. My piece of advice is find someone that you trust and share with them, and don't hold back. It could be as simple as expressing like, how are you? Like, and expressing how you actually feel today. You know what I'm saying? I've had a bad day, man. Shit's just not going my way. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like each step towards vulnerability is you growing in your personal journey. You know, I've been on the journey of not trusting women and not letting them in. Now you need to open up and see if you can. Like, so I'm not going to give you too much. I'm going to give you a tiny bit and see a reaction. If I see that negative energy from you, then I'm going to see you're not really the woman for me. Because I need a woman that's going to embrace certain things about me so that I feel comfortable to say it. Because now you're going to make me feel like I can talk to you about my relationship. And that means that you're going to get the best side of me, because you're going to get the vulnerable side and also the loving side. I feel like a lot of women want you to love them, but they don't want to embrace your vulnerabilities.
No.
And being in love is a vulnerable thing.
Very vulnerable.
And that opens you up to all kinds of pains. And like you said earlier, like if a girl cheats on you, you'd kill her, because that's you giving her your vulnerable side and she just throwing it on the floor and stepping on it. So you're like, bro, you don't even care about me like that. You know what I'm saying? And just the message for all the men out there, vulnerability is a sign of strength, not weakness. So if you can be vulnerable, it's a sign of strength, it's not weakness. I think we've been programmed to tell ourselves that you're a weak man if you open up. But a lot of men are unaliving themselves because they're not opening up about problems they're going through. We opened a conversation last year of men speaking about not being able to see their children. And look at the impact we had with the men's mental health group and stuff like that.
Yeah,
how many men were on the brink of taking, bro? They was on the brink. And just hearing us have a conversation with them, that helped, man. And even man to this day, like still post like, yeah, I'm going through this and I'm going through court and you know, I feel happy and I want to share this with you guys because you're my friends. And you know, like it makes me happy inside that he feels comfortable to speak to us as men. You know what I'm saying?
It's a safe place, isn't it?
Yeah. And I feel like we need to create them safe spaces and authentic and meaningful connections with men. You know what I'm saying? And not be shy and be like, oh no, don't speak like that. And you know, try and simmer away from it, because then we don't know what he might do in the end. So yeah, man, I feel that's important.
It's growth, isn't it? Even having this discussion here, it's almost like unintentionally, like it's funny because like from when we started talking to now, like it's weird. Like you feel like a bit lighter, even how you step. You feel a bit lighter, like because you know that like when you know that you're speaking to someone who's either like-minded or like can share their struggle experiences, yeah, you feel like it feels a bit relatable. It's like, oh, me too. But when you feel like it's just you alone in this world, fam, the wind is a cold breeze, man. Trust me, like I tell a lot of men, yeah, you realise how cold the world is when you're standing alone, you know. It's a very cold world, fam. If you go stand outside, you're like, you know what? That wind is colder than I've ever felt that wind before, fam. Because you're alone. A real cold wind, like, damn, man. I'm going back and it's just me. So a lot of men, please, man. Like I said, you know what I mean? Speak out. Fam, like, I wouldn't even mind having a little, like, Rare Hub monthly men's counselling group. Like, all 10 men sit around and speak about life, bro.
Why not, bro?
Deeper still, innit?
I think that would be That would be growth, because you know what, there is a stigma in our community where men shouldn't speak about it and men should just hold things in and deal with it. And as much as some men might be able to do that, not everyone can do that. And that's where we have men unaliving themselves, because they can't handle it, bro. Not everybody's... I've come to the realization as a grown adult that not every human being is the same. So you can't... I can't say to everybody to deal with your mental health like this. You can't. Because not everybody needs it like that. Some men just need a conversation. Just that conversation of sitting in the room with 10 man.
An hour.
And you hear a man say, oh, how's my pops like this? And I'm like, bro, my pops is like that as well. Before you know it, from that moment, it doesn't even feel awkward anymore.
It's normal.
We can open up this conversation.
We're normal now.
Does it make sense? We can, because more time you don't want to tell people because you don't want to feel...
judged,
like, oh, they're going to think that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my life was bad. And we always don't want to talk about our childhood traumas because we find it like embarrassing to a certain extent.
Yes, of course.
That we had to go through
that.
But it's not that, bro. Going through stuff when you're younger is a sign of strength because you're still here to this day and you've made something of your life. If you're here now, well, especially if we're on this podcast is a very successful one as well. Like, bro, it's a good thing, bro. So, you know what I'm saying?
More power to us men, innit?
If anybody wants to join our men's mental health group, just let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram, Rare Talks Podcast, and we'll get you added to that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, shout out to everybody. I hope you enjoy this episode. Very different to what we usually do. But yeah, we open up for you people and we hope you enjoy, man.
Hopefully,
love, man. Bow.